David Baye here for MuscularDevelopment.com. We are in Las Vegas for the 2014 NPC USA Championships, hanging out here with George Farah. George, one of the most storied shows in the NPC. Obviously, we have big names like Flex Wheeler, Phil Heath, Bob Ciccarillo, MD's very own, coming out as Mr. USA. Talk to us a little bit about what this show means to these competitors. You know, coming into Las Vegas, you know, kind of feels a little bit like the Olympia. Everybody feels like superstars here.
Well, you know how it is. I mean, these guys, the amateurs, they're looking for this opportunity to turn pro. And the NPC have given them like so many good opportunities beside the national. Now finally the USA, every class winner is going to turn pro. So we have well over 800 people, you know, competing here. It's it's an amazing show. It's run very good. You know, Paz does amazing. All these guys, you know, John does an amazing job. So everybody's excited, man. And usually, like you said, we mentioned so many people from Bob Ciccarillo, our own, to all these guys winning the USA. I mean, we always have a star, you know, rising from this event. And I'm hoping one of those stars is going to be mine.
Absolutely. Of course, we wouldn't expect anything less. No, you brought up a good point, though. It's nice to see that all these weight classes are awarded, you know, especially with the introduction of the 200 and now the 212 class. You know, one of the things that we saw in the past about the USAs was it was almost always light heavyweight, heavyweight, super heavyweight, winning the pro cards. At the time, you know, I believe at one point it was only the top two, and then it went to three. It used to be only the overall. Yes. See, that's I don't go.
Bob Ciccarillo won.
I don't go back far enough.
And, yeah, so it used to be only one pro card for the overall winner, and then they make it two, then three, and finally now every class winner. So it's more opportunity for the boys too.
Well, right, you know, and like I said, a lot of people talk about too many pro cards being given away, but if you are going to try to develop a 212 class and you need guys that are lighter, you have to give the guys in the lightweights and the middleweight opportunities to earn pro card. They have it here now. That all being said, let's talk about some of the competitors this year. You know, we don't have it's not 1993. We don't have quite the superstars, but there's still plenty of big names getting ready for the show. If we're looking at the super heavyweight class, we have Gabe Moen, we have Dusty Hanshaw, we have Nick Trigilli. Yeah, we have Nick. I mean, Nick, you know, a favorite going into nationals last year, had to drop out. He's had some time to, you know, regroup, get his arm healthy. How are you feeling about Nick coming into the show?
I think Nick is going to show us his best ever, honestly, and I mean, with all due respect for everyone, I think he's the most complete one up here. Is not missing much, and all what he needed to do, you know, is come in shape. And I just looked at him earlier; he looked unreal. So let's keep our finger crossed and keep everything going.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some big supers. My understanding is John Ward is going to be here, one of the West Coast guys, big. I don't know if a top 5 finisher from last year, Eddie Bria Camontes. I hope I didn't butcher that too much.
There's always the good things about those, like, you know, event. We'll always have new faces to surprise everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, like, you know, I have somebody in the heavyweight is going to be the surprise. He's not the heaviest guy. He only weigh like 209.
And who's this?
Benny Bentley. And
Benny Bentley did great at nationals last year.
Yeah, he did really good. No, actually, not yet last year. The year before, he did great. This year, I brought him, I think, better than ever. Amazing structure. He looks like a pro. Just like I said, you know, like, this is what I like. I like to see new faces. He's a young kid. He's under 30 still. So this is what the USA is all about, man. I'm just looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we do have some other big names in the heavyweight division. We have your Junior Nationals overall winner, exactly, Dorian Haywood. Now, you know, one of the things we talked about with Dorian at juniors, probably not going to be the biggest guy here. He said his conditioning is a little bit sharper, and he was good in Chicago. So he could definitely be a threat. You know, there's going to be a handful of other names in the heavyweights. You know, obviously when you're doing an interview, that's when you start drawing blanks. TJ Clark just won the Branch Warren Classic 2 weeks ago. He's coming in right at the top of his weight class, so there's going to be some big names. You know, when we move down to the light heavyweight class, your Junior Nationals light heavyweight winner Charles Griffith will be here. Definitely some big names.
You know, like, I'm sure after the prejudging, we're gonna remember so many names and so many, like, uprising stars. And like I said, that's what's so good. You know, like, yeah, maybe like some people say it's too saturated and stuff given, but you know what? This is what make our sport. This is what make the NPC the way it is, and that's why we're #1 in the world. This is why it's the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to give more opportunity. You got to give more people working hard. You know, to get their like well-deserved time. So I don't mind, man, seeing new faces and new people and new names. You know what I mean? And like you said, with the new division, it's going to be nice, open, for everybody. So I'm happy, man. Happy.
All right, new faces to the national scene. I cannot forget Matt Porter. You guys saw his videos leading up into the USA's. Yeah. Matt's looking very sharp, as always. So, like George brought up a good point. We don't have a lot of really big names to talk about, but that's what these shows are about. The USA's, a spot for these guys to establish themselves as legitimate contenders, not only at a national level, but hopefully for those guys for a pro card. Yeah. So we're going to wrap things up, guys. We will be back tomorrow. Prejudging for the men starts at noon. We'll have a more comprehensive prejudging wrap-up tomorrow, obviously with some names and call-out information and things like that. So make sure you check back tonight and tomorrow for all the interviews and for the prejudging report. Again, David Baye with George Farah in Las Vegas, Nevada for the 2014 NPC USA Championships.